My only request is, while we are doing this, it'll be nice if we can avoid crosstalks. It'll be even nicer if you ask questions to the author a little later when you have the opportunity, right? Once again, I want to thank all the performers who put up such a great show so far. The show is not over yet. We've got a few more performers after the interview. But right now, it's time to welcome Ashish. Ashish is... I'm not going to say much about him, but I'll tell you what I know. Ashish is a very charming personality amongst his friends, and that's what I've heard from people that know him. He's also somebody who's full of life. There will never be a moment when he's in the room with you and there will be dullness. That's the charisma that he carries, and he may come across as a person who can give you those serious killer looks. Yeah. Right. But at the end of, but what you have to know is that there is no person that you would want to spend time with other than Ashish, because that's the kind of influence that he has when he takes over.
You're flirting with me now.
I'm flirting with you? No, I'm not. I'm too loyal to my dog. All right, anyway, so this is Ashish, guys. We'll let him say a little bit about himself. There's a lot that we have to talk about as far as the book goes, but first, let us try and delve deeper into the kind of personality that Ashish is. So, Ashish, take us back to the kind of person that you were as a child and how you've evolved from being a child to who you are now.
Okay, so likewise, I'm really loyal to my dog, Tipsy. I wish he could read and understand, but we just do it with eyes.
Oh, lovely.
All right, and I've loved dogs since I was a child, and my childhood has begun with me going on stage a lot and performing wherever possible. I mean, you give me a stage and watch me go, right? So that's how it's been since I was a kid. I've been in a bunch of theater plays. My largest audience was about 3,000 people for an evening, 2 evenings consecutively. I played Hanuman in the Ramayana. Wow. And I've done a bunch of roles ever since. I won a competition for acting in school, state level, and bunch of things, fluked, winning UNESCO 4th in the country, whatever. I don't want to brag about myself.
No, you should. It's your afternoon.
We also live on a hill station. I live with my folks on a hill with my pet. We run a small homestay. It's a boutique space, unique stay experience called Carlton. That's what we do. We invite the world home. It's amazing to be able to work in harmony with the rest of mankind. We open our doors to everybody that wants to come there. We have about 3,500 species of life form living over there with us in nature's lap, basically. And you're all welcome. It's called Carlton. Secondly, I've started something known as the Soul Scribers Society, co-founded along with Mrs. Gitanjali Dilip. She's my mentor and friend, and we've been running our own poetry society for about 7 years now.
Wow.
And we're having another book coming out called Soul Talk. We've done 11 books. Our 12th book is coming out next week.
Fantastic.
And along with that, I would like to thank my brothers Faizan, Jojo, and most importantly Suraj for being here and supporting me through my poetry, which could also be a lot of bogus. And the best part about having all of you all here, including Shresi and Abhishek and Prithvi. I've been to a couple of Poets of Bangalore events along with Kritika. We met in Poets of Mumbai. And it's a lovely feeling to have, 50 infinitely boundless souls in this afternoon sitting in this hall just to celebrate poetry.
Yeah.
And I think that means that we are adding meaning to our lives over here.
Absolutely.
Along with that, I would like to also inform you all that Jojo here, Manoj, is an amazing artist. His work is fantabulous. You should get in touch with him after the show and check it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ashish. I think that was very elaborate, and it's just lovely having not just the poets but you as well, because I know the book that we're going to be talking about has a lot of poetry. And just before we get there, I just wanted to ask you, when did you first write your first poem, and was it a dedication for somebody?
I think I wrote my first poem in first grade or so. It was on friendship. I've been writing since I was a child, so I can't really tell you when. It feels like it comes to me. ऊपर से.
Yeah, but in third grade, you never mentioned who did you write it for?
It was in friendship.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on friendship. I have one of my poems. It's in the scrapbook.
Okay.
Purana wala.
Fantastic.
This is my third book.
Got it.
This is my third book. The first book is known as The Greater the Dream. The second book is known as The Deeper the Soul. This is the only one I'm actually having a launch for. And I wrote this very recently.
Got it.
And you'll find like fancy book covers.
No, we'll definitely talk about that. But given that you're a very seasoned writer, there are a lot of folks in the audience who I know are personally, aiming to become writers someday. They're also struggling at the same time, including me. I try my best to do some writing myself. When did you identify with a struggle when it came to your writing journey? I know you've published this, it is your third book, but I'm sure with every author there's a time in their lives when they encounter some struggle when it comes to writing. Did you ever happen to have an experience like that?
Yeah, all the time I was in love, I forgot to write.
So your advice is don't fall in love.
No. I mean, that's what fueled it. So, I mean, you write when you feel like it, and writing's therapy to your own soul, probably. And if you ever think that you're having a block, it's not really one. It's actually when you pen down random thoughts in your book and your diary, and you go back to read them, automatically that block in your mind disappears, because you'll find that you've had the answer within yourself all this time. It was just for you to go back and read those pages that you've written and forgotten about.
Absolutely. Very,
There
very.
are times when you find pieces of your writing and start wondering if this is me, if this is what I thought in those moments. And that could be so mesmerizing, to just find yourself, so enlightening to your own self.
Very true.
Surprise ho gaya yaar.
Very well. So Ashish, who, obviously this is your third book, but let's talk about the first one, When you got your first book published, who was your first reader?
My ma.
Okay.
My ma and my best friend, Swapna.
And what was the feedback like?
Ma knows my work, since I don't think this is working anymore.
It is.
It is? All right. My ma has always been encouraging of my poetry. She's a writer herself. She's been writing for years on end. And Swapna is a great friend of mine who criticizes my work like, what a shit poet you are. But she's been reading my work since college. We've been friends for about 14 years now. And yeah, she reviewed the entire book and ensured that there were no mistakes, grammatical errors. And I was like, I doubt hardly anyone's going to read any of these things that you write, but I will. And she did the work for me.
Fantastic. It's very good to know. So let's now come back to this book. The book is titled The Artist and the Poet. Just talk us a little bit through the title first, because it often happens that you look at the title of the book, you feel inquisitive and you want to pick up that book, right? What does this title have before even an audience delves into the book?
Okay, as you can see the book cover, it's got two people holding each other in the middle of a lake, right? So either one of them could be the artist and the other could be the poet. It depends on what you want to find. There's a lot of duality in the world, yin and yang, I guess. So doesn't an artist and a poet live inside all one of us, each and every one of our? I see poetry and art like I see right now in front of me.
Wow. It's very well put. Guys, a big applause for that response. I think it's very well said. I think there's so much poetry in every response that Ashish is giving already, right? So, I'm just very curious to know what is there in the book. And before we get there, who's the audience for this book? According to you, who should be somebody who should pick up The Artist and the Poet?
I'll tell you what, actually,
Use this.
who should be, there's a note to the reader over here. All right, I'm just gonna, it's gonna answer your question.
Yeah, please.
All these poems are written under a heavy dose of extreme emotion. Please take your time to feel all of them. The book doesn't take too long to complete, but it does take time to make meaning out of it. Devour it, relish it, it's written for you. Let every line take you on a journey in your mind, only to help you understand yourself better and express your own heart's desire. Introspection is key. Each piece is different from the other, some small and the others larger. The best part of this book is that anybody can open up to any page and it will immediately suck you into a world that is completely lucid and more than imaginary. Thank you for picking up this piece. Books often have souls of their own, and this one has found you for a reason. We hope it touches you. Happy reading.
Wow.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Ashish, for doing that. For a lot of writers, validation is very important, Ashish, right? And I don't know, at least that's what I've heard from the previous authors that I've interviewed. In your case, how much importance do you give to validation? And how often, how frequently do you require validation when you're sort of compiling a book?
The only validation I need is an Oscar award. This is us having fun in the afternoon for us. As a poet, as a writer, we do not need any sort of reconciliation that our work is doing any justice, because we are doing justice to our work by ourselves. It's like, getting naked with your emotions and thoughts in front of everybody in a room full of people.
Absolutely.
I mean, it comes with a lot of vulnerability. It comes with a lot of letting go of what you think you were, letting go of what you think you are. If you had met me about a year ago, I would have had like a completely different look. I would look like a different person altogether, right? I mean, like probably 10 kilos lighter, I guess. But as we are evolving constantly, what we see and think and perceive to put out to people does not make us feel ashamed, does not make us feel scared.
Well said.
We are our authentic selves over here.
That's very beautiful said. I think authenticity is very, very important. I'm very glad that you brought that up. Got it. So, tell us a little bit about the book. When you obviously, I know you've mentioned that it's about poetry, but tell us a little bit more. Help us understand what this book is all about.
Okay.
What does it convey to a reader, etc.
Yeah, so last night I was having a drink with my brother, all right, and we were talking about matchsticks and forest fires. So this opportunity, like you were talking about the validation, one matchstick can light an entire forest on fire, right? A single cigarette butt that you forgot to put off.
Absolutely.
What does it take? It takes a spark, right? If by any chance listening to whatever I'm talking over here sets a spark in your heart, I think my job here is done. The forest fire will take care of itself. I'm just a matchstick. Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'd like to mention the acknowledgement, since we are doing the book.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. In pages where art and poetry blend, gratitude flows as lines transcend. To the artists whose vision brightly shine, your colors and form inspire this rhyme. In pages woven with heartfelt threads, I pause to thank those who filled my head. To my dearest Atti, the girl that got away. With lessons profound in love's quiet echoes, your wisdom was found. With every stroke and whispered hue, you spark the verses that dance anew. To the worlds I create with heart and hand, your memory takes me to a blissful land. Through joy and heartache, you taught me to see the beauty in shadows, the art of me being me. To my dad and mom, my anchors so near, your love and trust has banished all fear. I'm glad you stood by my side through trials and cheer. The unwavering faith with which you've always been here. To my loyal Tipsy with your tail wagging wide, to my sister Betty who's inspired me since I was a child, to my friends and family steadfast and true, your love is the canvas upon which I grew. In laughter and tears, each memory we share, you've nurtured my life showing me that you care. To my friends, with every adventure we begin, you stuck around through thick and thin. Your laughter and kindness ignited my days. You walked this journey with me, weaving bright dreams. In the tapestry of life, my friends, you've been my light to my readers who open up these pages wide. Your eyes are the bridges where dreams reside. Together we wander through realms unconfined. In the harmony of our hearts, our spirits aligned. So here in these verses, I humbly bestow my gratitude to all who have helped me grow. For art and poetry, a vibrant embrace, together we flourish in this sacred space. Here's to this moment, this artful embrace, where poetry blossoms and creativity can race. May these words linger like whispers in the night as we celebrate poetry, art, and beauty, realizing that this life shared in delight.
Wow. Big hand, guys. So Ashish, when obviously you write poetry, was there a poet that inspired you from your school days? Was there somebody you used to read very
of course,
often?
Milton, what's his name? Daffodils.
Okay.
William Wordsworth, Keats,
John Keats. Okay.
Longfellow,
Oh,
Dead Poet Society, the whole movie.
absolutely.
I watch it whenever I'm depressed. Rarely. And yeah, of course, all of them. I like Shakespeare. I used to relish reading books. J.K. Rowling, thank her for the entire world of Harry
Absolutely.
Potter. J.R.R. Tolkien.
True.
With the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, all that stuff, bro. Basic. We've all been to school in the same time, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Yeah. So, just walk us a little bit through the publishing journey. I think for a lot of authors, it's a very frustrating experience to find the right publisher. What was it in your case?
The publishers were the most easiest for me. It's on Instagram. If you're a poet, you would have seen Bookleaf Publishing does it 21. This is my third book with them. They do 21 pieces in 21 days. You're supposed to come out with it. But yeah, of course, I've written them before and put it on in that timeline. Yeah, that is about publishers. I haven't even met them. They send the books home. So they are fine. They're perfect publishers. They take a lot of time though, but it's worth the wait.
That's fantastic.
There's no hurry.
Great. Yeah. So why don't you read? I know you've read quite a bit already, but read us your most favorite poem from this book.
Most favorite, that's going to be hard, but I bookmarked.
I'm sure you like all of them.
Yeah, I bookmarked 3. So you'll tell me how you like the first one, and then we'll see if we can do another 2.
Yeah, sure.
Does that work?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It works.
Okay, so yeah, I've been taught to understand and read poetry with my eyes closed when somebody's reciting it to me. My mom taught me that to feel it, you got to close your eyes and listen to it and visualize. So if you guys would like to close your eyes.
No, please, guys. Let's all keep our eyes closed.
Take a nice deep breath and Om
Sure.
Shanti Usa.
Sure. I'm watching, by the way.
Okay, this one's called Art and Poetry. She found art in me, I found poetry in her. I was once at a crossroads in life while being posed this paradox. Would you like an eternal love story, or would you like real love while you're alive? Not knowing which was worse, I said, well, I would like both. The morning shows the day. There was fog all around, misty as misty could be. It was the day that my life would turn around. I was all of 25, dauntless and fierce, when she met my eye and became my universe. It's hard to believe how time can fly by. Before you realize what life is, it's already time to die. Wow. What is it but a few days ago? What is it if not a few days later? What had to happen did, and our lives got crushed with it. I was 10 feet tall and powerful in love, just to realize it was my delusion. If not for her, I wouldn't know love. It was the best kind of mankind's illusion. It was already bad enough that we had to live. It was even sadder to live without love. Like purpose had lost its way, reasons had gone away, charm had lost its grace without her pretty face. As I went walking towards the hill, it was cold in the night and very chill. Lazy laser lights and a girl dancing, mist everywhere and clothes prancing. Sometimes, when life is too good to be true, you begin to meet people like that too. The randomness of the puzzle fitting in together, we are all broken and we are all lost, thrown in this pit together. We got to talking and smoked a lot. We went for a trek in the morning and then forgot. A beautiful spot in between a valley, we found a waterfall with a view of a horizon overlooking infinity and all. And then in the evening came a bike ride. A group of Harleys and two bullets. We rode together like we were meant to, spoke with each other about everything new. 5 years went by and she never got off the bike. 5 years went by while we tried convincing our families of our love and trust. We bet on each other and never gave up until one day my ego played up. I'm too cool for you. Stop forcing and blackmailing me. She drove away, leaving me shattered, like without her, I was meant to fail. I now pick up the broken pieces looking for the art. As I realize in my mind, she was only playing her part. The poet in me looked for the artist in her, only but to find it was in me all along the way, the artist and poet in my mind. She was the only one who could hear what I had to say. Come to stay, why would you go? Why would you go away and leave all this beautiful behind? She said you're toxic and you think only of yourself. Man, the man I fell in love with was an illusion of my mind. So I pen this piece now, stronger than I was found. Living without her is like an innocent doing prison time. She's gone, but I miss my laughter, and hers is mixed up with mine. It's so stupid now that I find with nobody to give this enormous love in me. And while I'm broken and looking at the mirror, and while I'm broken and looking in the mirror, in me I find both the art and the poetry.
Wow. That last line. It's fantastic. I mean, there's just that punch in that voice. I think it's not just even the words and the poetry. I think just hearing from the author itself makes it so much more amazing, doesn't it? Yeah. Excellent, Ashish. That was fantastic. Yeah. I know we are a little short on time, but I want to give the audience to ask a few very important questions. Tough ones only. Yeah, that's the rule. So only if you have tough questions, raise your hand. Yes, Som?
Two questions. First one, do you edit your poems or it goes raw and you don't do anything with it? Whatever comes to your mind, you write it, that's it. That's one. And the second is...
Great question, yeah.
And the second is, how do you shortlist the 21 poems? Because I know booklist now they work, so you might have a list of, say, 100 poems. How do you know that these are the 21 in booklet?
That's a big hand for the question. It's a very good question.
Okay, the second one first. Yeah, of course, there are a volley of poems that I have, but the only ones that made it in this book were the ones that resonate, the person that I've written it for, the girl that got away. And yeah, once you read your work, after you've written it down, you know what lines you don't want in it. When I write everything down and then I make sense out of it because. When we are writing for ourselves, it's different because no one will be able to relate. So when you edit it, I mean, like write drunk, edit sober, bro, understanding, bro. Yeah, yeah. So I always edit my work. I ensure that there's no slang, hopefully, in anywhere that you read any of it. Yeah, I definitely edit my work before putting it out there. I make sure it sounds harmonious. I try to read my pieces about, say, 7, 8 times before they're done so that they sound good even if I'm not around. I mean, if someone picks up my book to read, it can't be low quality work. It has to be high quality.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very well said. Great, yeah. I hope he answered your questions. So, brilliant. All right, any other questions, guys, from the audience? You really want to ask him a question? I thought you guys are friends. But anyway, yes, your question.
Did she get a copy? Oh my.
Did she get a copy?
Wow.
No. She's never going to know about it. She's never going to know about it. That's both celebration and the tragedy.
You said difficult.
I think the muse
Loved it.
remains the muse only when they know they're not being written about. Life is long, I don't know. I might get popular.
A very good question, guys. A big hand for the person who asked the question as well. Jojo, right? Excellent. Yes, we can take one more question from the audience. Simon, okay, we've got 3.
This cover was a photograph of my ex-girlfriend and me in Hampi. So she's there in the picture, I'm there in the picture. You just need to look at it closely.
So the
it was
artist and the poet.
Sunset.
Story for now.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It was a moment. Yeah.
Yes, Vaibhav.
Is it a good thing to obsess over someone who didn't value you?
No, not at all. I mean, didn't value? What are you saying? I did it for inspiration all along.
I'm just asking. Most of the they only write about the ones they lost.
They only write about the ones they lost, but you need to experience them before losing them, right? Isn't love a little bit of an obsession, bro? Come on. You don't think so? I mean, like, if you can obsess over having a burger which is going to taste amazing, I mean, a human being is least of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think heartbreaks have created more
And
poets.
it's
anyway.
like drugs. Love is a drug. I'm sure all of us over here have felt it. You can't live without
True.
drugs. No, man. Love.
We got it, Ashish. Yes, one more question, Ramya.
So it's a very aesthetic related question. I just saw that there are a lot of poems that are written in very big font and lot in very small font, like in irregular. Was there a thought behind it, or?
I wanted to increase the pages in the book. But yeah, that's the thing with writing poetry, right? Like, you can keep writing and it'll still seem short, or one piece can seem too long. So the book is filled with both kinds. The short ones and the long ones are the ones with the big font, so you don't get bored.
Thanks, Ashish. Guys, so just in the interest of time, guys, I'm just going to sort of try and...
I think last one,
yes.
2 other.
Yes. We'll take a couple of more questions. But just talk us a little bit through your collaboration with Poets of Bangalore. How did that happen?
I checked you out on Instagram. This is about my third meet at Poets of Bangalore.
Yeah.
I've been to, I love finding performers and performances and having an opportunity to come on stage.
Right.
And I think this foundation is doing a brilliant job. Kudos to team Abhishek.
No, it's not. I'm just a host.
No.
Don't even get paid.
Yeah,
Ravi, Prudvi,
Prithvi,
Abhiram.
Abhi, Yeah, they do a fab
The
job.
core members.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not very reliable, but I would love to help in any way.
Oh, no,
If
absolutely.
you want to take a day off, I'll host for you.
Please, yeah, I'll be more than happy.
I'll charge you though.
That's
So this was regarding the usage of diction towards the end of the poetry. So yeah, you spoke about introspection, right? So I wanted to know, when you say that you found an artist and a poet in yourself, is it the pieces of her that she left behind, or is it you finding an artist in you through the experience of being with her?
I like that question. Lovely question. Guys, a big hand. That was very poetic. Yeah. Great.
I think the answer to that is both. All right, because this girl was really good at what she did, and she every time we used to go for looking at a view or enjoying something that was something we were doing, I would be looking in a certain direction and thinking of certain thought, and then she would call me and show me something else in the sky that I never found. So it's been like, I mean, I think that's how it works with men and women, right? We don't see the same things. That's why we can't understand y'all completely. So it's like modern art now. Okay, you just interpret what you want from whatever I make out of it. So yeah, I've also been doing art since I was a child, not as well as I write poetry. And meeting her has enhanced that in me. It was like she could see paintings and I could see words, and together it was a movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent answer to an excellent question. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, I think Ashish, this has been a very good chat. I'm sure a lot of us would have wanted this to go on, but unfortunately, we are bound by time. We'll sort of wind it up with a message that we want to give out to all the aspiring writers and poets out there.
I'll do a piece. That's my message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And she'll do one.
Yes, Kritika, I think
yeah.
the author wants you to read one of the pieces. I hope
Yeah,
you're ready.
she's ready with it.
Awesome.
She's doing Soul Kitchen.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll do Our First Date.
Okay, lovely. So
Okay.
guys, with these two poems, we're going to sum up the author interview. Please also remember that the author is going to stay back till the end of the event. He's going to sign some copies for you. I would take a lot of pride in getting a signed copy from an author. It's not too often that you get to meet authors, face to face, and this is your opportunity. So grab a copy. Make sure you get a signature, and some of you have liked whatever he's answered. Ensure you get a personal message written as well. A picture too.
Thank you. Our first date. I chanced upon her in the library. She was dressed in captivating rhymes. Her tongue spitted profound metaphors that mingled with seductive similes. I found myself lost in her fascinating nature. Without much ado, I proposed to her after haiku. She accepted me like an alteration. We became closer like butter to toast. She's the song of my body, heart and soul. Every night she races from the faculties of my mind. Through a pen onto a paper where we dance to the tune of my emotions. Her name is poetry. She's a hobby that I cherish.
Lovely. Thank you, Ashish. Kritika, why don't you come over here? You should actually sit.
So much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
Please, I'll feel tall
those
enough.
people who don't know, Kritika hosts Poets of Mumbai. She does a fab job over there.
Thank you so much. But you already took my job here. Sorry, everybody's coming for your job.
Hey, no. It's not even my job.
Yeah, so Soul Kitchen, it's actually one of my favorite songs by Patti Smith. So this,
The Doors. Yeah.
okay, so this is how it goes. She is deeply serious and ambitiously impressive. She can save us. If we are to survive, part of our salvation lies in understanding. She teaches us about charm. She can transform ideas into life, be vigilant, dazzlingly. She is. She enters our imagination with easy grace. She's powerful and delivers promises. She is beautiful incandescence. She's a very seductive force. She's a pretty beautiful face with the sweetest voice. She is compassion. She's intimacy. She's everything lovely on this planet. She is the ultimate demonstration of peace. She is an appreciation of art. She is the epitome of determination. She is the condition of my heart. She is working upon my soul. She is poetry. She is a feeling of euphoria. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. And she sometimes makes no sense. That was Soul Kitchen by Ashish.
Thank you so much, Kritika. I think the interview couldn't have been better. I think summing up with two amazing poems with this absolutely fantastic author. Ashish, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll leave you for the audience. I'm sure they would want signed copies and moments with the author, right? So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, so I just handed out a bunch of copies. If you want to read it, you keep it back over there after you're done, and then you can buy it off. Anyway, so yeah, thank you all for lending your ears, friends, Romans, and all. Thank you so much. It was grateful. It was great. It was great. I am grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.